You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports. Yesterday I did a video in regards to Colin Kaepernick, the great grifter, who goes out the other day in a clip involving his Netflix special that he's getting a very large sum of money for, by the way. And he accuses the NFL Combine, and the NFL draft process as being akin to slavers looking over slaves, getting ready to sell them. And he talks about a power dynamic. And basically, he completely exposed himself as a hypocrite, a lunatic. And look, the unadulterated gall for this guy to go out there, make this clip, after having taken money from Nike, who is involved with China, who is involved with using slave labor to make much of its merchandise, for him to go out there and do that, I mean, the hypocrisy can get no bigger than that. Not to mention, he's just out and out lying to people in this country, particularly black people. There's no other way to look at it. Colin Kaepernick is poisonous. He's a poisonous snake. And he's out there. He's a social justice grifter that wants to be paid. That's all there is to it. He complained about the NFL, but he happily received $43 million to play in the NFL. And then, according to him, very much wanted to get back in the league. And he made that very public. I still want to play in the NFL. Well, you said it, Colin. I didn't. But then you went out and you called them slavers a year and a half after you messed up this supposed NFL tryout? Hypocrite. That's what we're dealing with involving these social justice warriors. Well, now we've got a former NFL player, a black man by the name of Jack Brewer, who went on Fox News today, and he absolutely annihilated Colin Kaepernick. He destroyed him. And he didn't pull any punches. I think he said some things that are very, very accurate. At some point, you've got to start looking at these people as anti-American. They don't like their own country that they're living in. I always say, check out Venezuela, check out China. There's places that love socialism that you can go. And I just wonder how fast it would be before you would get back here. When you found out you had it pretty good to begin with. Former NFL player Jack Brewer tore into Colin Kaepernick on Monday after the American activist and former quarterback compared the NFL draft process to slavery. Jack Brewer says the following: this new Colin Kaepernick doctrine that's penetrating the minds and hearts of so many of our underserved black kids across America is the single largest threat to black men in the United States of America right now. Folks are thinking that they are victims and that they're living in the most prosperous world, the most opportunity of any country in the world. You have kids that are hopeless, and then you go out and push this mentality, and you're supposed to be someone that's a leader. Think about the movement that this guy started, the opportunity that he had, that he could actually come and promote positivity to young black men, telling them how great this country is. He doesn't have that spirit in him. And this is where he gets raw and I believe very truthful. And I think sometimes you have to speak in these terms in order to let people know exactly what kind of a person, someone like Colin Kaepernick, what kind of a person you have to be to say some of the things you do that you know is making an impact on people that right now doesn't know any better. He has an evil anti-American spirit, and it's sick and it's disgusting. One more thing, that even Netflix, someone that big and popular, would even put something like that out to penetrate the minds of these kids should be illegal. That is Jack Brewer right there. He played for the New York Giants. So Jack's taking a very strong stance, and I do agree with him. I think some of what is said by some of these activists is very, very dangerous. And if you think it's not, look no further than our streets last year. Our streets where when people went on social justice crusades, people got killed. Streets, businesses burnt to the ground. People like David Dorn, a black man, lost his life. A former police officer, a very admirable, honorable man, loses his life. And there were so many people in the black community that was crushed by these protests and all the violence. There were pharmacies that the black community used, black people would go to get their prescriptions, like a Walgreens. They would buy some of their groceries there. And these businesses were gone. They were burnt to the ground. AutoZone, where people were buying auto parts in the black community, gets burnt to the ground. And there were black people out there upset, standing there like, what have you done to us? What have you done to our community? You have burned it down. And, these activists like Colin Kaepernick have done more harm than good. In fact, much more harm in the case of Colin Kaepernick. LeBron James is another one. They have a poisonous mindset, like a snake, and they're slowly but surely biting, striking all these people that they are influencing, and then they turn around and strike somebody else. It's almost like Kaepernick is patient zero of The Walking Dead, and then it just spreads. This spread's got to stop. America is not what they say it is. It is not what they say it is. It is the land of opportunity. You apply yourself, you work, you study, learn a trade, and you can do and be whatever you want to be. That's the beauty of it. You want to become an engineer? Apply yourself, study, and you can become an engineer. That's what's so great about this country. But instead of preaching a positive message, Colin Kaepernick has the nerve to say the NFL, you join the NFL or try to make the NFL voluntarily as an opportunity to potentially make millions of dollars, and you compare that to slavery? That's crazy as hell. It's just crazy as hell. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. Jack Brewer nailed it. Evil, anti-American spirit. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.